Hey, TJ, what's up? You know what? I saw X post yesterday. The Chinese espionage at the U.S. universities conducted by China's 50 column elements, namely students from China and then a China-born faculty, I think. And those type of people can be U.S. citizens or permanent residents eventually. Similarly, influence of CCP on academic institutions become noticeable in Japan. That's what I noticed. And a Korean descent Marxist, the person like,斎藤幸平from Tokyo University or some other adherents, the Maoism ideology from North Korea, as a faculty member has been, they have actually directly infiltrating international academic institutions, including Tokyo University and Kyoto University, and some other prestigious Japanese school, in order for CCP indoctrinate those Chinese ideologies in Japan. But how this could happen in Japan is my first question. And I think about it, and then I came to the conclusion that organizations such as Mindan or General Association of Korean Residents of創価学会Unification Church, coaching up by CCP, they're actually wielding considerable political influence over the government. And I noticed recent years that have been traditional conservative entity like Shinja Honcho, organization traditional Shintoism, notorious Shinja Wan, derived from Shingon tradition Buddhism. They have also co-opted, and they're compelled to undergo noticeable leftward ideological shift, which bothers me a lot. And I think their sway extend beyond the media and politics. Now they're talking about infiltrating in educations and embedding legal professions and law enforcement, while they have prioritized short-term gains, effectively friendling Japan to the Chinese interests. This is what's really happening right now. If I talk like this, however, they'll label me probably racist. I know their reaction is. They reflexively classify me as a racist, or such critique as a racism or hate speech. But funny part of this argument, listen, they remain conspicuously silent, especially in a matter of Zionist privilege or affirmative actions. That is totally absurd, totally illogical. What Japanese people basically does, what Japanese people basically have done so far, historically, it's nothing, virtually nothing, but just simply exhibiting forgiveness and kindness. However, that I even realized that they ended up in perpetuating their own risk and never-ending logical flaw, This silly argument will continue forever. So I think the issue has remained politically a bit ticklish taboo in Japan. And the problem now is that Japan stands on the verge of a collapse. So I'm fully convinced that the time has come for everybody, for every Japanese individual to raise their voices in defiance and assertiveness. That's what I really want to suggest to people. And also I found myself driven to speak on the fact that many pseudo-conservative tactics and strategies and leftists occasionally engage with, which amplified quantity among precarious Japanese, including me. And I know the fact that natural consequence of this ambiguity facilitating our general skepticism of political integrity of the whole freaking system called Japan, and causing apathy toward the government per se, especially for the young folks. That is the reason why young folks never shows up voting. So, that's what I think. Now, what do I fix this, TJ? How can I fix this? What I think is I initially would like to carry out background checks all faculty members at the university, simply file them if their interest doesn't comply with a pure academic purpose. That is fucking common sense. We would not be able to compromise national security or academic standard. In higher education in Japan must remain free from falling political influence. That's freaking common sense. That's what I think. Thanks for listening.